Hello, let me show you how to make this cute little bookworm. To make this bookworm, you'll need some safety eyes, stitch marker, scissors and yarn needle. You need a 3mm crochet hook, and you also need some double knit yarn. It doesn't matter what colour you use. We will start by making a magic circle, and we will make 6 single crochet stitches into this magic circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And now you can close your circle. Next round we will make 6 increased stitches, so that means we will be making 2 single crochet stitches into 1 stitch from the round below, and I'd like to always mark the very first stitch so it's easier to keep track when you've done the whole round. And just keep making 2 single crochet stitches into each stitch from the round below until you get back to your stitch marker and you have done 12 stitches. Next round we will be making a single crochet stitch followed by an increased stitch. So make your first single crochet first, mark that with a stitch marker, and then make into the next stitch 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2, and just follow the same pattern all the way around. 1 single crochet and then an increase into the next stitch, 1 single crochet again into the next one, and 2 into the one after that, all the way around back to your stitch marker, and you will have 18 stitches by the end of this round. Next round after this we will be making single crochet stitches into each stitch from the round below, so you'll be just making 18 single crochet stitches around, and we will be doing this for the next 5 rounds. So just keep going, 1 stitch into the stitch from the round below until you have done 5 rounds. You can pause your video here and just keep going around, and I'll show you what to do next after you've done your 5 rounds of single crochet stitches. Now that we've done all our 5 rounds of single crochet, we're starting a decrease. So the next round we will do a single crochet, mark that first stitch again, and then we'll do a decrease, and that's making 2 single crochet stitches into 1. And I like to make an invisible decrease, so you're only pulling through the front loops. So let me show you this again. So you pick up the front loop of the next 2 stitches and then pull your yarn through, and then pull your yarn through the 2 loops, and that's your invisible decrease. So you'll be making a single crochet stitch and then an invisible decrease. You can make the normal decrease if you prefer that, just making 2 stitches into 1, but if you do the invisible decrease you'll just have less gaps in your work after you add the stuff in. And go all the way around, making a single crochet followed by a decrease stitch until you get to the end of this round. We now have 12 stitches around, and we will do 2 rounds of single crochet. So just 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and do this twice. After you've done those 2 rounds, we are done with the head. But before we move on to make the body, we'll just add safety eyes. Put them between rounds 7 and 8, about 6 stitches apart. You can always sew on your eyes later, but I like using safety eyes. And we also need to add stuffing at this point, because we will be now closing the gap of the head. So once you've got your eyes in place, get a little bit of stuffing and add that to the head. And then go back to where you left your loop, and we will start joining 2 sides of the head together. So all you have to do is just make your head flat, make sure your eyes are facing forwards, and you might have to do a couple of extra stitches just to get into the corner. So make extra stitches if you need to. And now just push all the stuffing in and fold the head flat. Chain 1, and we will start going through both sides of your head to flatten it into the body. So you go through the front and the back loops rather than the stitches, not just the loops, just like the whole stitch, and join the head together. And because you had 12 stitches around, you will have 6 stitches across because you're using 2 at a time. So it's probably best to just count to make sure that you get 6 stitches across, because sometimes it's a bit hard to see the very last 2. Then chain 1, turn your work, and single crochet into each stitch. Just check your stitch count that you've definitely got 6 stitches. Now we'll start adding the wiggly parts of the body. So chain 1, and we will first make a decrease stitch, just a normal one. So you're going through the whole of a stitch and making 2 stitches into one, and then make 3 single crochet stitches, and into the very last stitch you'll make an increase, so you make 2 stitches into the last one. Chain 1 again before you turn your work, because you need a turning chain. Turn your work, and into the very first stitch make your increase, because your wiggle of a snake will turn that way, or your wiggle of your worm. Then make 3 single crochet stitches, and in the last 2 you're making a decrease, so you're making one end turn towards one side. We'll do this one more time. Do a decrease first, then make your 3 single crochet stitches, and the very last stitch again you will be making an increase, and you'll see how your snake will start turning to one side. Once you've done that row, chain 1 and turn your work, and we will do 3 rows of just simple single crochet across 3 times. So 6 stitches, just single crochet all the way across, and then chain 1, turn your work again, and another row of just single crochet stitches all the way across. And then one more time, chain 1, turn your work, and make another row of single crochet stitches. Once you've done your 3 rows of just a straight piece, we'll start the wiggle to the opposite direction. So chain 1 and turn your work, but instead of doing decrease, you will do an increase stitch first, then 2 3 single crochet stitches, and then right at the end you'll do decrease, so making 2 stitches into 1, and chain 1 and turn your work, and now you'll be doing a decrease stitch first, and then 3 single crochet stitches, and then to the last stitch you will be making an increase, so 2 single crochets into that 1 stitch, last one, and then again 1 more round because we're doing 3 at the time, so increase first to get the right turn in, then 3 single crochet stitches and a decrease stitch to finish. And you'll see how your little worm is starting to go from one side to another side. So we will be making 3 sets of turns to one direction, followed by 3 rows of just straight rows of single crochet, and then another 3 rows going into the opposite direction, and you just follow this all the way until you have your bookworm the length that you would like it to be. I did altogether 23 rows, but you can make it longer or shorter, it is absolutely totally up to you, just make it yours. So I'll show you just one more time. I'm just doing this straight bit now where you just make 6 single crochet stitches across, and that's my 3rd row. So after this row I'm starting the turn again to the opposite direction. So we're going start with decrease stitch now, doing the first decrease, and then 3 single crochet stitches, and then last one and an increase stitch. Chain 1, turn your work and do increase stitch first, then your 3 single crochet stitches, and then finally a decrease. Chain 1 again, another decrease, and then 3 single crochet stitches and then increase at the end, and just keep repeating this pattern, and I will show you how to finish off your little bookworm when you've finished with it. You can just pause your video here if you like and carry on working. Now that my bookworm is long enough, the way I like it, I'm going to start making the little end tail. So chain 1, turn your work, start with a decrease, so making 2 single crochets into 1, and then just make 4 single crochet stitches instead of making the last one into an increase. Just straightforward 4 single crochets. Chain 1, turn your work again, start with a decrease stitch again, and then make 3 single crochet stitches across, and then chain 1, turn your work again, decrease, and then 2 single crochet stitches. You get the idea, we're just going to decrease by 1 stitch every row. So do another decrease, and then 1 single crochet, and all you've got left to do now is just 1 decrease stitch, fasten off and cut your yarn. And now you just need to get your yarn needle and hide that little bit of a tail, and after that we will start making facial features and a little bow for your bookworm. So get a little bit of black yarn and attach your yarn needle to it, and first I'd like to hide my yarn tail inside the head to make sure it's securely attached, and then you come out just by the side of the eye and go across and make eyebrows to your bookworm. And once you've done that with the same tail end, you can make a little smiley mouth as well, and you can hide your tail inside the head, so there's no sewing, it's just tidying up, hiding the tails inside the bookworm's head. Got the yarn, and we will be making a little bow for your worm as well, so that it can match his friend. I'm taking some blue yarn this time, starting with a slip knot and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You skip the first chain from your hook and single crochet into next 3 chains, just 1 single crochet into each chain, then chain 1, turn your work and make another 3 single crochet stitches, so 1 single crochet into each stitch from the round below, then chain 1 again and repeat the same thing again, and you will be making in total 6 rows of single crochet stitches. So just keep turning your work around, chain 1 for your turning chain, and then make 3 single crochet stitches across, and then chain 1 again, turn your work, make another 3 stitches until you made 6 rows. And that's going to be my final row now. So after this one, you can just finish, fasten off and cut the yarn, but leave a little bit of a tail for assembly. Get your yarn needle and hide the beginning tail of your work, because we don't really need that for assembly. You can just hide it into the work. And now with the longer tail, you will be pushing it through the work until you get to row 3, come out right in the middle, and then wrap the tail around so it will create a bow shape, and just tuck it in with a few stitches, and you can now sew it to your bookworm's head. Doesn't matter which side you prefer. Just a couple of stitches through the brow and the top of the head, and then hide your tail inside the head, and your cute little bookworm is ready. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel.